the Sheriff's review of the South Florida game this week. The Cards won their seventh game of the 2013 season. They racked up 485 yards, only allowed 133 yards to the South Florida Bulls. They actually held the ball for 41 minutes and 43 seconds in this game. And so that is just like, the defense really didn't play a lot. There were not a lot of defensive highlights in this package here because there simply weren't that many defensive plays. Louisville got off the field quickly on defense, and they held the ball a long time and shortened this game on offense. I think that really is going to kind of tell the story of, why South Florida really never was able to get in this game. They did not have a quarterback, and Marcus Shaw did not play. Well, let's go ahead and get started and take a look at each play that really mattered in this game. To open up the game, Louisville actually ran the same play 3 times in a row to the left side on a run play with Dominic Brown. So you see Jake Smith and John Miller pulling to the left side. They ran this play twice in a row with Dominic Brown, and then they got one with a big gainer. You can see the second play here again, the one that really went long. See the patience from Dominic Brown. And then the third time in a row they ran it was with Sonoris Perry. Each time they got at least 5 yards, and that was a big time reason why they were able to move the ball down the field. And then Damian Copeland from Teddy Bridgewater in the touchdown in the back corner of the end zone. Just perfectly thrown ball. At the end, Damian Copeland, or one of the Louisville Cardinals, actually said it was too easy. You can see Teddy Bridgewater looking off the safety. He's not even really looking to the left side of the field. He's looking to the right. He's looking that safety off big time, and then that safety has no chance to get over to help out his cornerback, who Teddy Bridgewater just throws right over his head. Because we're mean-spirited, I want to show you this a couple times. The kickoff goes off the USF return man's face mask helmet, and that's just bad news bears and really just sums it up for USF this year. And then this was the typical play on USF's offense. Rush up the middle, stuff for no gain. And then here, you see it again. I really like this third down play over Marcus Smith. He's in a 3-4. He's a linebacker in that, and he actually comes in on a stunt, comes in and gets the sack on third down, and causes a punt here for USF. But his first of 2 sacks on the day for Marcus Smith. Here we see a pass interference call on a USF defender while trying to guard Gerald Christian. Simply, the reason why he gets this penalty is because he's not playing the ball. He's playing the man. This should be an interception. And he goes and gets in the Gerald Christian's way, and that reason alone is impediment to his progress, and he got in his way of moving the ball. If he plays the ball, that flag doesn't get thrown. That should be an interception. And then you see here Teddy Bridgewater just holding on to the ball too long. D. Lattimore comes in on a delayed blitz, puts him into the ground, and you can complain about the offensive line. John Miller probably should have picked up that block, but at the same time, throw the ball. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater can hang on to the ball forever if he wants, and he does this again. He hangs on to the ball, and you'd like to see Cam Droyer stay on his block a little bit better, but at some point you have to get rid of the football, and the expectation cannot be that the offensive line can block forever because these guys are coming at you, and eventually you're going to have a misstep. Here, Charles Gaines on a kick-catch interference. I totally disagree with this call. Obviously, Charles Gaines is sitting right there. He waits for the ball to get caught, and once the ball is caught, he makes contact. If a guy decides to not fair catch with a player in his face and he gets hit in his chest, then he gets what's coming to him. I disagree with that call completely. After that penalty, Louisville gets another 15-yard penalty on a roughing the passer penalty from Roy Philon. The penalty is valid. Roy needs to hold up and not hit Bobby Eveld on this play. But you just hate it because the Cards in consecutive plays give up 30 yards in flags. And so now all of a sudden USF is in field goal position. And on the next play, or one of the previous plays, they actually drop USF for a loss. So a possession that actually gains -2 yardage it results in a 50-yard field goal for the Bulls. And that just cannot happen. Here, Dominic Brown almost gets Teddy Bridgewater killed because he misses a block on a blitz. There's play action. Dominic Brown needs to pick up the blitz coming out of that play action, and he simply doesn't. Teddy takes a really nasty hit there, and luckily he's not hurt by D. Lattimore. Then he makes up for it with a really nice, patient run. He makes sure that South Florida brings him to the ground. He busts it outside to the left side of the line. He waits for the hole to develop, and he picks up a huge chunk of yardage to get a first down, keep the drive alive for the Cardinals. And then we see Teddy Bridgewater, do what needs to be done to a defense who's bringing a lot of pressure. You hit them with a short screen pass, you take advantage of their aggressiveness, and you make them think twice about bringing that pressure again with a screen to Sonoris Perry, one of the fastest players on your team. And then you get the 3rd and 5. You see Teddy hit the check bat down for get the first down. The ball gets moved down into the 2.5-yard line, and it's a really nice check down. There's nothing underneath to protect. From that check down, Dominic Brown's able to get several yards. And then the Cards were feeling so good that they ran 3 plays in a row from the 3, and they did not get the touchdown. Dominic Brown on the first play gets stuffed, and on the second play he tries to go over top. Usually low man wins in football, and low man won on 2nd and 3rd down on both those plays, and the Cards settle for a John Wallace field goal. Let's take a look at this beautiful touchdown from Teddy Bridgewater to Gerald Christian. On this play, South Florida comes in on a cornerback blitz, and the safety and linebacker need to account for both Ryan Hubble and Gerald Christian. And for whatever reason, they both decide to stick with Ryan Hubble, leaving Gerald Christian wide open along the sideline. Now, Gerald Christian throws a really nice stiff arm there, and then it's a foot race to the goal line. They get the touchdown. It's a really nice, very long touchdown for the Cards. And then Marcus Smith, his 2nd sack of the day, his 17th and a half for his career, which is 8th all-time at the University of Louisville, passing Carl Powell. And then South Florida returns the favor, sacking Teddy Bridgewater. Really bad loss. Teddy takes a really big hit here again from D.D. Lattimore, and he's just untouched. So, that's a breakdown on the offensive line whenever a player can come through that cleanly. But the Cardinals pay him back, sacking Bobby Eveld, taking him out of the ball game. Nick Dawson and Lorenzo Malden arrive at the same exact time, and it's a leg injury for Eveld when he gets sandwiched, and it doesn't look pretty when you see the way Dawson actually lands on his leg there at the end on his left leg. So painful injury. He walks off the field and he did not return. It's not a good sign for South Florida because they are already really bad at the quarterback position as it is, and if Eveld is their best option, then it's only going to get worse from there. Then here on a punt late in the 2nd quarter, Charles Gaines decides to play the ball sort of unwisely, but it looks like he's going to get a big return, and Charlie Strong is mad because the officials actually call the Cards for a delay of game on this because it looks like Robert Clark raises his hand to shield his eyes from the sun, which if you look at the shadows are casting that way to make the sun in Clark's eyes. But it looks like they really intend to just kill the play and get everybody away from it. But the Cards would have had a chance to have a nice little return, some field position at the end of the first half. But instead, they go into halftime up 17-0. Here we see an outstanding catch and run from Dominic Brown on a check down again. Something that's really been developing with Teddy Bridgewater in the passing game that happened last year late in the season too. The check down game became a huge part of the passing game for the Cardinals. It's doing that again. And then we see a Teddy Bridgewater rush inside the red zone. He's going for the end zone, gets his helmet knocked off, and the Cards actually have to settle for a field goal. I'd be interested to see if the helmet stays on, if they would have gone for it on that 4th down, but he has to come off. John Wallace comes in for a field goal. Cards take a 20-3 lead. Then we see USF's 2 biggest offensive plays of the day. If it weren't for these 2 plays, they may not have had over 100 yards total on the entire game. So here we see Roy Philon and Marcus Smith and James Burgess really need to get up there and make that play. Charles Gaines is getting held by the wide receiver there, but that's not going to really get called every single time. You can't rely on that. So you need to make that play, those 3 guys up front, to go up there and make that play so that USF Bulls don't get long rushes. And then a simple play right up the slot, right up the hash. The Cards are giving space, and they had this throw all day. They just didn't have the personnel to complete it. But in this particular case, it worked. And South Florida has good field position before Preston Brown comes and strips the ball and creates a turnover inside the red zone to prevent a score. And this is the type of playmaking that happened this week that wasn't happening last week against Central Florida. So it's really good to see Preston Brown and the U of L defense making plays once a team starts making them on their own. It was really good to see James Quick, again, his role developing and evolving here for the University of Louisville. Here on a really nice long play, we get to see his speed and elusiveness and what kind of playmaker he can be with the ball in his hands. But we see Robert Clark with a block below the waist. It looks like he just stumbles into the guy because he actually misses a block. He's trying not to block the guy in the back, and he actually just falls down. Then three really good rushes from Sonoris Perry, and everybody kind of is down on Sonoris right now, and Dominic Brown is like the main man. But here, three just consecutive runs from Sean Watson, the play calls for Sonoris. He gets 2 first downs, and then we see Damian Copeland move the ball inside the 10 to the 7-yard line, and then again the check down play to Dominic Brown from Teddy Bridgewater for a touchdown. It's a big part of the game that's happening here with the offense. Happened same way last year. The check down game and the passing game is really becoming together for the University of Louisville. All right, to close this game out, Charles Gaines. He's been a playmaker that we've heard about for a long time. Now we're actually being able to see him start to make plays. It's sort of a growing role for him. Pick 6 against the USF Bulls. I mean, this is just a really bad ball to throw, and then really the wrong guy to throw it to also, because if Charles Gaines is anything, he's fast and he's really dynamic with the ball in his hands, and that's why I'm so excited to have him on defense here for the University of Louisville in the secondary, because he can make plays like this. That's the final score, 34-3. And the Cards really could have done a little bit more here. You see Dominic Brown, he goes over 100 yards here on 3rd and 16. They give him a ball on a rush, and he goes and gets the first down. And then this is his final carry of the game. A really long gainer here against a tired USF defense that played a long time in this game. So, the Cards, 485 yards of offense. They only allowed 133. So really total complete game for the University of Louisville. Cards will play UConn in 2 weeks up in UConn on a Friday night game. And if you remember, Connecticut gave Michigan a run for its money in a night game against a really, really good Michigan team. So we'll look forward to that, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the O-Line Sports Grill for that game, where the Crunch Zone will be hosting a game watch. And I look forward to seeing you guys there and getting another win and going 8-1. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, and go Cards.